What is up as a figure hunter, and today we're going to look at bands. We're going to look at all the different bands aftermarket listed on Amazon for Garmin watches that use a QuickFit system or are capable of using a QuickFit system. Everybody's always asking, what's the best nylon band? What's your favorite alternative band? And this is just an easy way to dress up your new super fancy $500 to $1,000 watch. So if you like this review, please give it a thumbs up. Please consider subscribing for more. We're going to look at a whole series of different types of bands, and we're going to compare each of them to their big brother Garmin official released full price type bands. We're going to look at silicone bands and the options. We're going to look at the leather bands. We're going to look at nylon bands, look at a tactical option band, and just other new designs. As many people, have asked, I really wanted to provide sort of a summary of a spectrum of options that are out there, as well as some of my favorite within each category. All of these bands are super inexpensive. You spend all the money on the watch, you might as well upgrade it or change your style on a regular basis with these bands. They're all from $14 to like $26. So nothing super fancy on this list. This is just an easy way to get access, and I put links down below if you want to buy any of the bands. There's also timestamps if you want to jump to a certain type of band section. Obviously, Prime Day is coming up July 11th or 12th, so maybe the bands will be on sale then, but they're still really cheap right now. So with that, let's dive in. All right, the first and most basic is going to be the silicone bands. So this is the original Garmin. You can always tell it's a real Garmin because it's going to have QuickFit written in the inside of it. So this is like the legit one, and these three are by Noto City, N-O-T-O City, and you can see that it looks almost exactly the same, except for it doesn't have that QuickFit written on the inside. I really like, just this sort of style of band. The Noto City has got the same basic feeling of flex, and then you have a slightly different style. So they have one with a little bit different lines in it, and all of it works just fine. This actually got a little bit more flex than the Garmin. Maybe it's close, but a little bit more. A little more flex is actually going to feel a little more comfortable. You can get it in multiple colors. These are $19 to $20 for a 2-pack or $14 for 1-pack, and they come in, like I said, multiple colors. So that is Noto City. Now you've got Ancool, and Ancool, I think they have some that are similar to the real Garmin band, but they have some with like a little pattern on it, and again, same sort of deal, maybe a little bit more rigid. And then you have some that are like the original Garmin band. I actually don't recommend this because I really don't like when you're putting it through the buckle, you get this sort of, grooved feel when you're trying to put it on. So this is how they all look. This is an example of like an Ancool with this sort of pattern on it. And this is how it's going to look on the wrist. Really very similar to the Garmin band, but just able to give some more flair with a whole bunch of different colors, and these are $14 each with Ancool. And then the other thing about Ancool is that they have some other two-tone options. These are the 22 millimeters, so can't actually show it on the wrist with the 26 millimeter that I have now. But two-tone colors, and they come, they have a wide variety, but I kind of like the red and black. These are going to be a little bit more rigid just because there's more latex to it. Just not quite because it's a little bit more thick. These are the Ancool. Again, you can search by Easy Fit Silicone. These are $14 even for the multicolors, the two-tone. So those are the latex bands. Now you can look at an option when it compares to Garmin's fancy all leather, genuine leather, chestnut version that comes, which has got real rigidity to it. This is the Abonin, and Abonin makes a couple of different really cool, mostly nylon bands, but this is a two-tone, so it's got genuine leather on the outside. This is $20 and then latex on the inside. It's just got more flex, and Obviously the leather's not going to have any flex, but if you're just looking at the waviness of it, it's just going to have a little bit more of a comfortable feel to it. So again, this is 22 millimeters, so it's not going to go on the large watch. The only thing I don't like is that it's a little bit thick, and I don't know if it's even going to break in. So when you put it on your wrist, it feels like the watch is not quite hugging unless you really tighten it down, and then it's not super comfortable. Some of these clasps are better than others. So this is the Abonin. The clasp system is probably not as good as the Ancool, slightly different. And then you have, you know, more traditional. This is that's the Garmin band. So let's compare it to the Noto City. So you can see the Garmin band's got a little bit bigger clasp. It's going to cross a longer breadth. This actually looks like it's going to cross the same breadth, just has a smaller button. Garmin just has a larger button for the quick release or quick fit. So this is sort of like your leather alternative if you're looking at, you know, an option for an alternative to the actual Garmin band. These are $20, and you know, soft leather with silicone is the way it's listed, leather on top and silicone on the bottom. All right, so these are the nylon bands. So this is the Garmin, comes on the Enduro 2. This is a $50 band, and it really has a great stretch to it, and the Velcro holds up really well over time. So these are some knockoffs, and everybody's always asking what the best nylon band is. So this is the LDFAS, Easy Fit Nylon. It has, you know, pretty much the same pull. This is like $17. They come in a few different colors. I haven't loved it because you can see it starts to peel. So the build quality is not it, but you know, 17 bucks. So this is where you're gonna have to tighten from both sides. The nylon band I love the most is the Abonin. These are what they call the Abonin hook and loop. And the way it works, and I'll show you in a second, so these are either $17 for one or $22 for two, so that'd make it $11 each. It comes in like a multiple of colors. I think there's like 4 colors, so it's not quite the same. And the way it's gonna work is you're actually, these I have found to have a little bit more durability on those little Velcro pieces that are on there. So you're gonna strap it in, and you're actually gonna feed it on the inside so that one side stays fixed all the time. I actually like it better because of that. So you can just sort of fix in that piece there. And then, so you're not having to adjust 2 sides like you would even on the original Garmin or on this, you know, knockoff LDFAS. So you just have one side that's loose, and then you buckle it in and tighten it down, and you just have one side to worry about tightening. So it's actually a little bit more convenient, but these are super comfortable, and they've been really durable over a longer period of time. So that's the Abonin hook and loop. They do absorb water, so you know, obviously once you take a shower, if you put your arm down on your pants or something, it's gonna show a wet mark, whatever. But so, you know, this is, I think, definitely the best nylon band on the market. I really think it's comfortable. The Velcro is held up well, but even just the fact that you just have one side to adjust to cinch it down just makes it a little bit more convenient, because when you're using these guys, you actually have to put the watch down, you have to pull one side up and then put the other side up. It's just a little bit more annoying. This is got one side locked in all the time, and then you're just one adjustment to make, and it's easy to switch around. And this is the Nick Mankey Designs. So Nick Mankey makes custom, what they call, like, I think he calls it a hook and loop, I don't know, but it's a Nick Mankey design. It's got this little sort of rubberized inside. So currently it really is only designed for watches that have easily removable pins. And as we all know, with any of the Fenix 7 series, as well as the Enduro 2 and the Epix series, they have these pins that aren't as easy to remove. You can, you know, like stick an X-Acto knife in there and try to get the spring to depress, but it's not easy because it's not a traditional spring pin. But if you do have the Garmin Instinct 2X, that's got traditional spring pins that are actually fat pins, so it actually works really well with any of these QuickFit ones. And then you have the 965, which has the pins, but once this is on, it loops all around and it's like a glove. So the Nick Mankey Designs is actually really good, and he's coming out with clasps, you know, so like clasp attachments, sort of like the QuickFit attachment, but just one metal piece. It's just going to snap in here, and then you're going to loop this through it so that you have some flexibility and adjustment with being able to use Nick Mankey design bands with any of the new latest watches that have these a lot harder to remove pins. All right, so now we have some tactical straps. So these are the super fancy Garmin Nylon tactical straps that are $130 each. So they are pretty penny. They're obviously really high build quality, but they're also really rigid. So one of the problems I had is it's sort of scratchy. It actually felt okay once it broke in, but it just has a rigidity to it. Now it can sort of soften more so than the official Garmin leather one we looked at, but they're still a little bit rigid. And you know, in walks Himsoot. Himsoot is, you know, these are a couple different colors. They come in, you know, multiple, I think 4 or 5 colors. They're $26 each. But one of the things that's great about their design is it's just much more flexible. So it still has that tactical look, like if you're comparing one to the other, really, really similar look to it, but just a lot more flexible. So this one I actually got the wrong size, so can't see that on the watch, but let's take a look how it looks. All right, so there it is. There's how it looks. Now I got the wrong size. I got a medium, which I thought would be, you know, not too long, but this is too long. So it also was a little bit difficult to pull it all the way around. If I really tighten it down, you got this overhang. So you want to check the wrist, you know, size of your wrist alongside what the sizing chart says, because I just assumed medium, but I guess I have more of a medium small. But it's cool. It's got this, you know, big buckle on the far side, so the appearance is just as rugged, just as good looking, and it really is, especially if I got the right size, you could really strap it down tight and it would be maybe more comfortable than the tactical nylon band from Garmin. Probably not too far off, because it is, you know, it's got some thickness on this little buckle side here, but overall just an excellent solution. Hey, 26 bucks versus $130. Then you have some goofy ones. This is just sort of a sample of a sort of a different style that's out there. So it's got the 2-prong buckles, you know, I mean, it's going to go in when you buckle it up, it's going to slide under, sort of like an Apple Watch, but there's just a million options. This is Epix silicone watch band. There's 8 colors of this, and it's $14 if this is your style. The Epix has got like a really good stretch to it, and you know, partially because the eyelets just allow for less overall latex or silicone, so you get more stretch. I don't personally love it, but it's just a sample of an alternative style. They use the metal buckle style, which I don't like as much as the plastic ones used on the Noto City. But that is just another style for $14. And the best for last, these are super nice in my opinion. They're from Cool, and they're called the Easy Fit Nylon. But they come in these, you know, obviously it's an Apple Watch replica, but it's got metal buckles instead of the plastic that we're seeing on a lot of the other ones we've looked at so far. But the other thing that's great is it's just got this like really stretchy feel to it, but it's got a soft interior, so it's not just like it's just not the same. So like if you look at like the other one that we looked at, the Aberdeen that I really do like, it's just the same type. It's got, you know, maybe a similar, not quite as much stretch to it, but you just got this same fabric. But these have like a smooth fabric on the inside, and then obviously they buckle up to look just like an, you know, Apple Watch Ultra. You got multiple colors. These are $20. If I haven't said that already, the Cool Easy Fit Nylon. Let's take a look at how it looks on the wrist. And there you have it. So it is extra long too. I mean, like I'm 0 for 2 with ordering these things, but it is super comfortable in my opinion. I mean, it's not going to be like that dramatically different than just a regular mesh band, but at the same time, it is somewhat different, and it's just a lot softer, and you get that look of the Apple Watch. And this is, you know, really, if I can get a smaller size, that would be my band of choice. Definitely comfortable, this nice metal bracket, so it has like a good appearance to it. It does sort of slim down, so you go from 26 millimeters and it cuts down the size, whereas if you're wearing the nylon strap, you got the full width of the 26 millimeter lugs all the way down and across. But just really, really comfortable, the Cool Easy Fit Nylon. So there you have it. There is the full spectrum of different watch band and watch band types that are out there. Even that last one, which I think is my new favorite, sort of overall soft nylon stretchy band. I actually took it to a seamstress to have it shortened because I just think this is the coolest watch band I have tested, and I think it's just worth it to pay the extra 10 bucks on a $20 band. So lots of bands out there. We have looked at all of them, and all of them in comparison to the real world, full Garmin official bands: silicone, nylon, leather, tactical, new designs. So there's links down below if you want to purchase any of those specific bands. And I want to hear from you. What is your favorite band? Any ones that I didn't list that you think is an awesome band that brings about a cool style or a new look for your fancy new Garmin watch? So with that, this is Fit Gear Hunter. Thanks so much for watching.